Hey guys, Dr. Chad here. It's February 6th, which is a Thursday. I'm still here down in Fort Lauderdale. You can check out my site, shaman.com, CharminShaman, to get any of these videos. They're usually uploaded on YouTube, but you can probably find them on my site too. Today we're going to talk about my trip in 2018, in July. I went to my buddy Rob Potter's event called From Venus with Love. And it was a very eventful event. A lot of stuff happened that I wasn't prepared for. Personally, spiritually. I was there with another friend of mine, Rebecca Tripp, who has her own online healing modality. And we were in a Airbnb. There were like 4 rooms that were occupied, I think 5, but because of the fires they had back then, one of the people, or the couples or whoever was in the room, couldn't show up. So we had breakfast in the morning, and when we woke up, there were probably 8 of us, 4 couples, even though some of us weren't together, we were still couples. And I met a guy named Don Tony, who I did a video with in his car in Mount Shasta, and got to know him pretty well. He told me a few things. And then also said that, it's not any chance you meeting me here. It was destined. And I believe in this because I've been doing this for a long time. The universe tells you to do something, you go, and you do healing ceremonies here, you learn something there, you see another teacher, you meet a lot of people. There's a reason for everything we do on this planet in order for us to evolve. And I've been searching for many, many, many years, reading all the different religions, their books, studying with all of them. I grew up Catholic and didn't believe in that. I'll get into that, another story, but this one's pretty important because Don Tony, who was 95 years old at the time, this is the guy that worked with Tesla, worked for our government, told me when he was 3 years old, had unbelievable telepathy. He could tell you what you're going to say before you said it. He learned from a tree almost every day for 8 years. Taught him a lot. We can learn a lot from trees, rocks, people, you name it. It's a crazy universe we live in, but there's a lot more to just this 3D material world. He shared a secret with me that there's a lot of beings that help us, and there's some that have come here and they incarnated in the flesh. Okay, they've been around for a long time. Some of them keep coming back. Some of the ascended masters, they say Saint Germain, Jesus, El Mornay, Serapis Bey, a lot of them. They come back, they help people. Etherically, they talk to you. There's a lot of people doing channeling. Well, he was here in the flesh. He told me this is his last hurrah here on Earth. He's never coming back again. The planet's going to ascend. We're about less than 60 years from it. He told me between now and 60 years from now. He told me a little secret that I waited to share until now, until he passed. He passed away January 2nd with his wife out in California. I spent a lot of time with him at his home. He told me he was the not A-R-C, like Ark, but Archangels, called Gabriel. He was here in the flesh to teach some people. He was teaching a group for the last 4 years. When he met me, he told me he wanted me to go to his house and learn from him while I could. And now I know why. I went there in November after I left Mount Shasta in July, my buddy Rob Potter's event. And then I left there and went to his house in Northern California, maybe a couple hours from Mount Shasta. Learned a lot from him. He told me a lot then. All the books he's written, 7 books. He has about 49 of them that he's put together. His wife now is editing the books, and hopefully I'll go there and help her edit some of the tapes since he passed. I couldn't make the memorial. Actually, it was February 2nd was the memorial. And it's just sad that he had to go, but he shared so much with us. He says he's been around for 7.5 billion years, and he keeps coming back, and he didn't know how he was going to do it, but it took him thousands of years to put this together, his teachings. And once we get the teachings out there, you'll understand why. Because all of these gurus, and I've had a lot of gurus that'll disappear in front of you, and they teach Kriya Yoga and Kundalini Yoga and all these great teachers out there, but they're not really teaching what he taught scientifically, because it's hard. That's why Jesus spoke in parables in the Bible, because it's really hard to get a spiritual meaning across. So he spoke in parables or metaphorical stories, we might call it. And Don put this together. Like you said, thousands of years he's been coming back, and he finally got it. There were 7 archangels, A-R-C-H. He's the only one in charge of this universe that was here in the flesh. He said even his brothers aren't here. They're here etherically, though, but they're in charge of other universes. 6 others. He told me other stories. When the fall happened and all the fighting and all the destruction that happened in the heavens. People might think I'm crazy, but I can't make up stuff like this. And for those of you that know there's other things besides third dimensional mentality, things we see here on this planet, you see things etherically. You can see angels, you can see beings, you can see a lot. When you open up your pineal gland in your third eye, like he said, Don said, we have, when we're born, we're supposed to have 12 senses. We're only using 5 of them. We're not using the other 7. Remember, Einstein only used like 12 or 15% of his brain. Well, imagine when we open up all the other 7 senses. And this is one of the things he taught, how we're supposed to put on the light body. And his teachings are called the why of life. Why are we here? Everybody asks that. Why? Well, it's to learn to get out of this flesh suit, to go within, like Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. And once we understand how to do it, how to put on our light body, get rid of all these other bodies, it's like an onion skin, how to breathe right, how to meditate, and it works. He proved it. I've heard he told me the stories himself of where he's been and what he's gone. I'll share some of those other stories in other videos. When he went to Iraq, when he went to Egypt, the beings he worked with, what he did for this planet in 1978 with a bunch of other masters that were here to save the planet from wobbling, because we're in this, it wobbles. And once it goes out about 30 degrees, we were doomed. They all brought it back into about 17 degrees again. The Earth is what's called a sensing motor? A motor within a motor, or like a ball within a ball. And that's how it turns. They're both revolving. And if the wobble tilts, it's like a gyroscope. It'll just stop going. And we'll have a pole shift. He's hoping that wasn't going to happen again. But something's going to happen. That's why he said he didn't want to be here. He said he was going to watch it from above, whatever events happen. He wants us to do these teachings and show people that You don't have to suffer, and we'll